I lugged a box of books from my van and dumped it just inside the front door. Shar came tumbling over the carpet with Holly right behind her. My daughter flung arms around my legs and shouted, "Mama!" The Shar Lil hopped on her pudgy feet, waiting to be lifted up. It was the best welcome home ever. Holly's blonde curls were a snarled mess, and her cheeks were an overheated pink as if she'd been wrestling. Standing on 4 sturdy legs, Shar was as tall as my knee. Her round, latticework shell protected a body covered in sleek brown fur with big intelligent eyes and a 3-pronged snout. I knelt down to hug them both. "Shouldn't you two be studying with Mr. Ludger?" The Pukwudgie in question sauntered around the corner of the fireplace that filled the center of the living room. He wore his usual waistcoat that had seen better days and short pants that showed off hairy feet and ankles. His features were goblin-like, but with paler skin and large ears that dipped at the tips. He bowed. "Mistress Kyra." Ludger had been tutoring Shar since we returned from Bosque with Holly in September, but I couldn't convince him to let go of this formal greeting, which was odd, considering his penchant for stealing from us. To be fair, he seemed to suffer from a compulsion, as if his fingers nicked silverware, small statues, or anything not bolted down without his brain's permission. He usually brought his stolen booty back the next day, so I mostly overlooked this foible because he was an excellent teacher. "We're finished for the day," he said. "They have no attention for study, so I let them tumble for a piece." That explained Holly's hot and scruffy appearance. "Okay, thanks. I'll take them out for some fresh air after dinner." I paused. "How are things going at the camp?" Other than tutoring, Ludger had become our de facto estate manager since the goblins had left. He was overseeing the few refugees who had made camp outside our ward. These were mostly displaced homesteaders that Mason or I had invited to join our coming fight with the Opji. The vampires had been burning forests, killing homesteaders, and taking captives for their Croa breeding pens for years. The homesteaders were scared, angry, and lost. None of them needed much persuading to kill vampires. "Most is settling in nicely." Ludger's fingers brushed over a soapstone sculpture of a bear on the table beside the front door. "Your cricket friend arrived with a couple of hide-behinds. I gave them space near the apple orchard to settle in." The hide-behinds would be a nice addition to my budding militia. "Okay, let me know if you run short of supplies. An army runs on its stomach." I'd been worried about being able to support any sized squad for long, but this morning I'd received an unexpected windfall courtesy of Nessie's estate. Ludger said his goodbyes and slipped out the door. The soapstone bear went with him. I hefted the box of books and set it on the desk. I really wanted to dig into it and see what treasures it held, but Holly was clinging to my pant leg and whining while Shar butted the back of my ankles like a goat. Raven appeared in the hallway that led to our bedrooms. Since the summer, he'd sprouted like a sunflower. He now topped 6 feet. His black hair was glossy and hung in shaggy curls past his chin. The one white lock at his forehead gave him a distinguished air beyond his 15.5 years. Princess, our hellhound, followed him with a yawn. "I'm finished my homework. What's for dinner?" He swiped the bangs from his eyes. I wished he would let me cut them. "Smells like spaghetti to me. There are more boxes like this in the van. Can you bring in a couple? I'll find out about supper." Raven ducked outside without a coat. I bit my tongue before cautioning him about the cold. He was old enough to judge the weather for himself. Sigh. Being a parent to an almost man had just as many pitfalls as parenting a toddler. There were just different traps to fall into. Dutch, our live-in man Friday, came down the stairs and headed for the kitchen. "Spaghetti okay for supper?"